What's up guys, TheGearChange here, back with another video, and I guess this is episode 1 of the Ute sort of mod or build series. And in today's video I'm going to be installing a VCM OTR on the Ute. So I've got it here behind me in the box. Didn't take too long to come, about I think just under a week, just pretty quick. Got it all the way from Perth. I think I got it from Empire Performances. They had it a bit cheaper than a few other places, so yeah, got to save where you can. But yeah, I don't think the install is going to take me too long. I don't want to jinx it, but from what I've seen, it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe a bit longer. So a lot of it's obviously pulling everything out and then lining everything back up. So I've got as many tools as I think I will need for the job. So yeah, let's pop the bonnet and get into it. Now that the bonnet has been popped, we can lift it up and see what we're working with. So we're basically removing this entire air box. So this bit, obviously this, I'm keeping the MAF sensor. The one I've bought, this OTR, does keep the MAF sensor just because I'm not getting it tuned straight away. There is a debate on whether to go MAFless or non-MAFless. I'm not too sure. I don't think the power gains or difference is major, so I'm just going to leave it how it is. But yeah, we got to get all this out the way. I think we need to move some of these radiator brackets and things as well, but first things first, we're just going to disassemble everything, take everything out, and then yeah, I'll unbox the new OTR and we'll put everything where it needs to go. But first things first, we'll take off the pig engine cover, just held in by 4 different clips on the back. So I'll put that to the side, and then we need to undo all of these individual clamps. So there's one there, and I think this one at the front as well. So figure out what size socket is, and we'll take them off. I've got a 7mm socket here, just on a little ratchet, because that is the size we need to undo these 3 clamps. This one at the back. Alright, there we go. Now, we're going to have to take the bolts out of the airbox as well over there, and I will have to disconnect the breather hose. So I'll disconnect the breather hose, and then I'll take the bolts out for the factory airbox, and then I'll try and pull this center section out, and then I'll work my way towards the actual airbox there in the corner. Now, we have to get this breather hose off at the moment, so I've just sort of lifted up, moved this out of the way just so I can get a bit more access to it. But you use some form of flat blade and push down and forward, and then it should come off nice and easy. So that's out of the way now. The little 7mm bolts are fairly loose. I just need to take the airbox off, and then we should be able to pull it up and out of the engine bay. Now we're onto the airbox. So we've got 2 10mm bolts, one here and one here. I don't think there are any others sort of holding it in place, as it is fairly loose anyway, but pretty loose now. Should be able to get that by hand. Alright, there's one, and then we need to get the one up the back here. I'll try and spin that off by hand as well. There we go. Right. Now that that's out the way, I will try and loosen it from the front here of the throttle body, just to sort of get it loose, and then everything else should hopefully come out in either one piece, or I might have to sort of disconnect some pieces, but I've pulled everything out that needs to be pulled out, so hopefully it should just come out pretty easily, and then I can figure out where I'm going to mount everything else. All of the airbox has been removed from the Ute. Now, one part that was a little bit tricky that some people didn't really mention was the fact that the bracket for the airbox up the back here gets stuck underneath this terminal. So the easiest way I found to do it was remove this red plastic housing and pull it off from the right hand side here and sort of pull it up and towards me, and then push this back and lift it up, and it eventually popped off. So got a whole heap of space here now. Got a bit of space there as well, and then obviously the space there. So I've unplugged the MAF. I've given the MAF a bit of a clean with some MAF cleaner as well, just in case it needed some. Probably hasn't had it in a while. Also cleaned the throttle body as well whilst I had some access. So let's open the box from VCM and we'll see what we've got. And I think we'll start with the infill panels probably, and then the airbox itself. Now, I've just opened the box from VCM. So, this is everything we've got. Got a little parts kit. Chuck that to a side. Got some instructions, which at the moment I don't need. What else we got here? Got the new replacement breather hose. Put that to a side. Got some clamps and things. Quite a number of them. All here in my hand. Got a pretty sick sticker, which I reckon I'll have to slap on the Ute. Pull that out of the way. Gonna take a guess and say that this is one or both of the infill panels. That might also be a part of it. And then here is the actual intake itself. So let me wrap or unwrap all of this out of the plastic and I'll show you guys all the different bits and pieces. Passenger side infill panel has been installed. So I put the factory bolt back there and the factory bolt back there. I had to take this Torx 30 out of the spot that it was in and obviously screw it back down, so that panel is in nice and snug. Now I need to move the radiator or radiator supports so I can sort of move it back to give the OTR some space in here for it to obviously breathe and connect all up. So I'll try and put the camera on my head for a bit of a POV or set it to a side on the left or right, just so I can show you guys exactly what I'm doing and how I'm moving it all out of the way. Now that these are fairly loose, you can just sort of wiggle them out with one or two hands and they should just pop straight off. So I'll pop one up there and the other up there. Now we have some room to work with, which is good. Our next step for the install is to remove two 10mm bolts. Now, they are just here underneath my finger. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Hopefully you can. I'll try and bring the camera a bit closer, but it's just that one there. So there's two of them, one on this bracket end and then one on the other. So we'll undo that now. Right, now here are the 10mm bolts. So just trying to undo this one here. It's nearly out of the car. I'm trying to take this off. See if I can just spin it out by hand. Feels like I can. Alright, there you go. That's one of the bolts. Obviously got to do one on the other side as well. And this should come up and out of the way. Sweet. So we'll do the other one and then I'll show you guys how to sort of declip all the rest of these wires that are sitting on here in this sort of big tangle. Okay, so the two brackets that were sitting on the wiring harness I popped out by hand. You might need to use pliers or some other tool to undo these clips, but didn't take me too long. We now have to get rid of the bolts or remove them for the time being off this air conditioning condenser. Undo that by hand. And from what I've seen in the packaging so far, there is a bracket for the, I guess, Series 1 versus Series 2 VE. This is obviously a Series 1 because it's a 2010. I think it's sort of mid 2010. It's a June 2010 build. I don't know when they went to the later models and changed certain things around, but we'll take this off and out of here. Don't want to drop that. Right, there we go. It's just sort of sitting there on its own. Now, keeping these two bolts, walk over here to where the camera's hiding in the midst of the mess, and we've got these two that we took out earlier. So we need these 4 bolts and these 2 brackets. So there's a MY12 and then yeah, early sort of VE models, which I guess this is classed as. So from what I've seen, I need to basically line these brackets up like that. So this will be this side, you'll have it like that. There's a threaded bolt on the opposite end, so that'll sort of sit here like that, and then obviously one on this side as well. So the same bolts that we took out before are going in the same way. So I'll put this bracket in on either side and put the 2 black ones in and tighten them up a little bit by hand, and then also put them in by hand with the silver ones, just so it's all in the one spot and so nothing's sort of catching on anything. And then I'll tighten it up with the 10mm socket. We're now on to the fun and nearly final part of this install. So here I have my factory MAF sensor. I've pulled off the old rubber coupling end that came on it, just whip that off. So I've given it a bit of a clean with some cleaner, and I've lined it up. I've got one of the hose clamps that has been provided here, so just got to tighten that up, and then also add this bit here sort of on the end to have it on that side to line it up. So I don't know how tricky it's going to be for me to actually tighten these individual clamps up. I'll have a crack at this on the camera with, I guess, some sort of little flat blade or screwdriver or something, but you've got to make sure that it doesn't start buckling or coming loose along this lip. So it might be a little bit tricky. I'll see how I go, but the trick I found was just sort of doing it slowly but surely and maybe bending it a little bit as I was trying to do it before. But yeah, I'll see how I go with it. Alright, so I thought I'd show you guys the method I've currently got. It is using a mini king chrome ratchet, pulling up the lip and tightening it slowly but surely, and just keeping an eye on this sort of outer lip or edge. So I'll tighten it up a little bit and then obviously drag it down, because if you look at the bottom here, it's not sort of sitting where it needs to be. But once I've got that tightened, we can get the other rubber bits on the MAF sensor. Alright, seems as if that was a pretty smart method, because it has stayed in place right around. It's on there nice and tight, hasn't buckled or anything, so that worked exactly as planned. Now I need to get that end there and 2 of the other clamps to get that sorted. And I think this big one is for this bit here once we get it round or on top of the actual OTR itself. I'll double check that before I film anything, but yeah, we're nearly there finally. Here is the OTR pretty much all put together. Now, as I showed you guys before, I had to get the MAF into this sort of surround first, then this separate sort of extension pipe. Now, it's got a little bung here, which I assume is for the breather hose. I was looking at some older videos, and I think it was, apparently it was a part of the actual box. I could be wrong, but it looked like it was sort of further up here where there's a weird sort of divot. So I don't know if that's been changed to right here for the breather hose for easier access. I'm honestly not too sure. I won't know till I start playing around with it. But I got that all on, then I sort of put the lip up and over, and because this was a new clamp, it was sort of obviously a circle, not more of like a rectangle or a hex. So it was a bit tricky to get up and over, but I loosened it as much as I could without it sort of splitting, and then I got it up, over, held it on nice and tight, and tightened it all up. So it is all one big piece now, so I can hopefully get that inside the engine bay, line it up, screw everything down where it needs to go, and sort of put this onto the throttle body, do the breather hose, and plug the MAF back in. Right, so the intake itself should slide right underneath with pretty much no issues. I did have an issue here with trying to get it onto the throttle body in the one piece. So what I did was disconnect the sort of flange here from the MAF sensor, put it on the throttle body separately, and then put the OTR into this sort of rubber flange separately a bit later on. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure on fitment. To me, it seems like it's good enough, like it's all good. I'll have to disconnect this little clip here to get the MAF sensor to sort of come and tuck under there. And as for the breather hose, I'm pretty sure it should be able to tuck up and round to this entry point here. So I haven't clipped anything else in, I've just done that bit there, but I will try and do the MAF sensor now and the breather pipe, and then we can put in the infill panels. Okay, so we have got the MAF sensor in finally. It was a bit tricky. I did have to break a little black bracket sort of down and in there. You might be able to see it from that side, just to sort of get some leverage up and through. As for the PCV pipe, I had to snip probably about that much off the end just so it would fit next to the power steering reservoir. Unlike a VF Series 1 and 2, I think it's the Series 1 and 2 both had this relocated somewhere else. It's a bit tight for space, but everything is clipped up where it needs to go. I've pretty much just got to put these sort of infill panel things in and clip them in, and then I should be all done. Everything's clipped up where it needs to be, so once I get all that clipped in, we can take it for a little drive and see if we notice any differences. It's probably not going to be anything major till I actually get it tuned and get headers and a cam and things like that, but hopefully it's slightly noticeable. Okay, so that was it for the OTR install on the Ute. This outro is about a week or two later. Pretty much as soon as I got that intake on, it was just raining non-stop. If you're on the Gold Coast, you'd know all about it. There have been a few days where it's been decent for weather, but not sort of good enough for me to finish the outro. So if you're seeing this outro now in the video, it's pretty much filmed on the day that I'm posting the YouTube video. So there have been a few updates to the Ute that I have already filmed that I've got to edit, such as the fresh rims and tires and some other bits and pieces, but you guys will see them as I sort of get around to editing and posting them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, as it really does help me out, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.